Alright then gang, so in this lesson I want to talk about this package that we import right here, FMT, and this is used to format strings and print them out to the console. So we're going to go through a few different methods that we can use to do this. Now in the past we've already seen one of these, it was the print line function, but I'm going to start with something slightly different, and that is the print function. So we say FMT, which is the package we import, dot print, and it starts with a capital letter. Remember, all of these methods are going to start with a capital letter because they're made public from this package. Now inside here we can pass in a string, so I'm going to say hello and then a comma and then a space. Now the print function right here is a bit like the print line function that we saw at the very start of this tutorial series, except for one difference. And that difference is that at the end of this print right here, when we print it to the console, this doesn't add on a new line, whereas the print line does. And we'll see that in action in a second. I'm going to duplicate this line so we have two prints, and I'm going to change this string to world. So hello world, right? So if I save this now and open up the console, I'm going to clear this to give us a bit of room, and I'm going to run this file. So go run main.go, and we should see these two statements printed to the console down here. We see hello world, and they're not on new lines because, like I said, print doesn't add a new line to the end of the string right here. If we want to do that, we have to manually do it. And to do that, we use the escape key, which is a backslash, and then N, which stands for new line. And we can see this is a slightly different color to say it's a special character or an escaped key. And this will add on a new line, a new carriage return down here. So if I was to add on now another print statement, let me just duplicate that and add on new line right here. And we'll add on the new line as well at the end of this one. If I was to save this now and run the file again, then we should see this right here, new line on a new line, which we do because of this character right here. Okay, so that's the print function. All right, so next let's look at the print line again. So fmt.print line like so. And this again does pretty much the same thing, but it's going to add this thing automatically at the end without us having to manually do it. So I could say here, hello ninjas, like so. And then I'll do another print line and say goodbye ninjas and save it. Let's run this, and they should automatically be on separate lines, and they are. So I tend to use this a little bit more than this. There are special occasions where I will use this, like getting information from the user in the console, but we'll see that later on. All right then. So again, I'm going to clear this console, give us a bit of room, and then up here we'll do another example. So what I'm going to do is just paste in a couple of variables here because I want to show you that we can output variables to the console as well using these print functions. So I'm going to say fmt.print line, and then inside parentheses I'm going to start with a string and say my age is, and then I'm going to do a comma after the string, and as a second argument I'm going to output the age variable. So we can do this. We can output several different values to this function right here and comma separate them. So it's going to say my age is, and then whatever this age is, 35. Then a comma, and then I'll do another string, and I'll say and my name is, and then outside of the string a comma, and then we'll output the name variable. So if I save this and run, then we should be able to see all of that printed to the console. My age is 35 and my name is Sean. Awesome. So that's how we output variables. Very simple. Okay then, so this was print line. And by the way, this is how you do comments in Go, just the same as JavaScript and some other programming languages, just // All right, so after that, I want to show you how to do formatted strings, which are a little bit more complicated. So a formatted string is a way to create a string with variables embedded inside it. So we can do something like this where we output variables to the console, but instead of having to break out of the string, then use the variable, then back into the string, then out, and then use the variable, instead we can just create one string and embed the variables inside it. That's what a formatted string is all about. So let me do a comment first here to say printf, that's the function name, and then in parentheses I'm going to say formatted strings like so. So how does this work? Well, let's say fmt, then printf, that's the method, and then inside here we pass in a string. Now I'm going to say my age is, and then underscore, that's where I later want to output a variable, and my name is underscore. Again, I'm going to output another variable right here. So I want to output the age here and the name right here. How do I do that inside a formatted string? Well, I pass in extra arguments, and these arguments are the variables I want to output inside the string, and the order matters. So we'll pass in the age first and then the name. And the way we output these is by using format specifiers right here inside the string. So a format specifier starts with a percentage and then some kind of character. Now I'm going to start with V, which is the default format for variables. So what this does is take a look at this string first of all and says, okay, I've found this %V. So I'm going to look for the first variable because this is the first time I found it in the string, and that's why the order matters. And I'm going to output that right here. I'm going to do the same over here, %V, meaning output this in the default format, looks through the string and says, this is the second one I found. I'm going to find the second value over here and output that in its default format right here. So let me save this and run it. Go run main go, and we should see the same string as this thing right here. So we output age right here and the name right here. Okay, so remember, this is called a format specifier, and it's how we output these variables inside a formatted string. And there's loads of different characters we can use with these. Now for now I'm just going to say %V, or rather %_ to represent some kind of character, is equal to a format specifier. So we know what that is, and this underscore can be many different letters, right? And the different format specifiers output them in different ways, and we're going to see a few of them now. So let me duplicate this to do another example, and this time I'm going to change this to Q, and I'm going to change this to Q as well. So what that does is place quotes around the variables when we output them. Now this is not going to work on the age because this is an integer and not a string, and ideally these should be used on strings. So let me save this and run it, and we can see right here, oops, we need a new line first of all, so let me add those on because this doesn't add new lines on automatically. So backslash and then N on both of those. I'm going to run this again so we can see it again, and we can see my age is hash and my name is Sean. So this right here hasn't worked. It's just placing a hash instead of the actual age. And this has worked. We have double quotes around the name variable. So that's what this does. Now, if we changed age to be the string age, then it's going to work for this variable as well. And I can demo that. I'm going to run this file again, and we can see now we get 35 in quotes and Sean in quotes. All right then, so let me change this back to just a number 35. So let me do another example. I'm going to come down here and say, oops, onto the next line, fmt.printf, and this time I'm going to say age, if I can type, is of type, and then I'm going to use %t, and what this does is get us the type of variable. So if I put in here age like this, then it's going to look at the first variable we pass in, and it's going to output the type of that variable. So if I save it and run this, let me clear first to give us some room, and run the file, then we can see age is of type int. All right then, so what about outputting things like floats? Well, let's do that. I'm going to say fmt.printf and then another string, and I'll say you scored, then underscore for now, points, like so. We need to add on our new line characters. Keep forgetting to do that. Okay, so what I want to do is output a float here. Now, I don't have a float variable, but we can pass the value directly in here. So I could say, for example, 225.55. That is a float, right? Now, to output a float, I could say %f. That stands for float, right? Now, if I save this and run it, we're going to see that float, but we're going to see loads of decimal points over here. So we can limit the number of decimal points we output by putting a number between the % and the f. So if I want it to 2 decimal points, I could say 0.2. If I want it to 1, I can say 0.1. So let's give this a whirl. I'm going to save it and run it. And we should see the same thing, but this time it's rounded it to 1 decimal point. It's rounded up to 6 here because 5 rounds up to 6. All right, cool. So that is formatted strings. There are other characters we can use here and different format specifiers. And what I'll do is leave a link down below to a page with all of these different format specifiers listed, so you can check them out for yourself and play around with them. All right, so the final method I want to show you is called Sprintf. So Sprintf is very much like Printf, except it saves the string in a variable for us, so we can do something with it later on. So let me do a comment, Sprintf, so save printf basically, so we can save formatted strings. And then below that, we're going to do an example. So I'm going to say fmt.sprintf this time, and then all I'm going to do is pass in the same thing as this one right here. So let me grab that and paste it in right here. So we're outputting this string, and then we have the age for this and the name for this, right? So the same example as above, only this time, this is not going to directly print it out to the console. Instead, it returns that formatted string to us, and we can store it in a variable. So I could say var str, call it what you want, is equal to fmt.sprintf. And this returns us that string. Now, if I hover over this, we get an error because we're not using it. But I can print this to the console by saying fmt.println, and then we're going to output the string. So we'll say the saved string is colon and then comma, and we'll output str. So if I save this now, open up the console, run this again, it should work. We can see the saved string is, and then this is the saved string returned to us right here. Awesome. So like I said, there's many format specifiers. We've just seen a few of them, and if you want to check out more, that link is going to be down below, which shows all of the different format specifiers right here, so you can browse through those and play around with some of them. But we've covered all of the ones that we'll probably use in the rest of this tutorial series, and if we cover any more, I will explain them at the time. Anyway, next up, we're going to talk about arrays and slices.